It's time to talk about teabagging. Over this past weekend, an Apex player got banned from a tournament. He was able to play it out, but he got banned from all future tournaments because he teabagged. But here's the kicker. He teabagged his own teammate's loot box. We're not talking about a body, okay? We're talking about practice, not a game.
We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
Not the body, a loot box of his teammate, not an opponent, but a teammate.
That escalated quickly.
He teabagged his teammate's loot box in Apex Legends after he died.
Yo, okay, Dilly is, Crazy Penguins is disqualified. I'm not taking that at all. Oh, he went over to the dead body that they just killed, and he went teabagged on the fucking death box.
And the shoutcaster, shouted out that he's going to be banned, whatever. But then they held up the ban. He was able to finish out the tournament, collect his prize money, but won't be allowed at future events for teabagging the corpse of his friend. Not the corpse, the loot box. But hold on, it gets a little juicier, okay? So, people are like, oh, is it sexual harassment? Is it not sexual harassment? No, of course it's not sexual harassment. The best take I heard on whether or not this is sexual harassment is if you call teabagging in a video game sexual harassment, then that is just a slap in the face to everyone who has actually gone through some type of abuse. Someone who has actually gone through something traumatic in their life. And it's just an absolute slap in the face to people, and you're putting teabagging in a video game on the same level as real trauma. Okay? So they are two very, very different things. So first of all, you're way out of line if you say that they're even close to the same thing. But the second thing is this, okay? This is my main beef with this tournament. So he gets banned from all future tournaments and gameplay for teabagging, okay? There are no rules in the tournament rules against it. So they're making up rules. The tournament organizer, on a whim, says, no, we don't want that. We don't like that. That's unprofessional. You're banned. Now, as a tournament organizer, he has every right to do that. But making up rules on the spot and it not being in writing where every player understands it, I think that's extremely soft and extremely unprofessional. And so he gets banned. It's not in the rules. And I'm just like, you know what? If you want to have a tournament, and you know what? You say, hey, in this tournament, one of the rules, just so you guys know, is no teabagging. We just don't want it. We don't want it for our viewers. Despite if you agree or not, irrelevant. Some people, most gamers, I would wager 85 to 90% of gamers, probably even 95, just don't care, think it's stupid, think it's funny, or, if it happens to you, you get pissed off, and then you want to, try and do it back to them. But no one seriously is hurt by it. It's stupid. It's memey. It's just a dumb thing in dumb games. It's video games. But if you want to have a tournament where you go and you just, hey, maybe there's kids watching, or I don't know what your reasons are, but you're like, you know what, I don't want there to be teabagging. Okay, fair enough. Put it in the rules, make it explicit, make it clear that everyone knows that. And you know what? I think all players would be like, yeah, cool. All right, we won't do it. That's fine. But the fact is they changed it up. They switched it up, and it just left a bad taste in the commentator's mouth. And so he's just like, I don't like it.
I'm not taking that at all. Oh, he went over to the dead body that they just killed.
Hey, pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
So that's where I really take issue. Because I understand if you want to just, keep it, good sportsmanship. You want to promote good sportsmanship? Cool. Fair enough. no teabagging in this tournament. Make sure the rules are clear. If you do it, you're out. You know, whatever. You can teabag when you're playing LAN with your buddies, when you're playing on, you know, online, whatever. But at this tournament, we want it to be more professional. We don't want it to be memey. Like, sure, cool, but you better have that in writing. And the fact is they didn't have it in writing, and it was just this unspoken expectation, which is completely unfair to the players. It's so unprofessional to just, oh, I don't like that, we're gonna ban you.
I'm not taking that at all. Oh, he went over to the dead body that they just killed, and he went teabagging.
Completely unprofessional, completely unfair, and my personal opinion, you're just soft, dude. Like, you're just soft. Like, this is video games. We're talking about video games. Okay? This is a digital character in a digital world that doesn't exist. It's NFTs, okay? It means nothing. All right? So, like, the fact that it was his own teammate too. They're friends, and he did it, and it probably made his friend laugh, and it was a joke. You're just so far out of touch with gamers, gaming culture, and everything. And so I'm like, I can't believe that they actually, like, banned this guy. Teabagging was an OG thing to do back in Halo 3 days. Yeah, that's true. 100%. It's been around forever. Yeah, when people teabag me, sure, I get a little mad. You know, I'm like, oh, heck no. But then, yeah, you try and get them back and whatever. But it gets even a little spicier, okay? Because Fate Legion, tournament organizer, they responded, okay? And they basically said, well, the shoutcaster shouting that he's going to be banned was a heat-of-the-moment response. And, you know, the person who was banned, he's not telling the whole story. Apparently, he was also shooting bodies as well. Which, again, yeah, dude, I'm a gamer. If someone teabags me and shoots my body, smacks my body, whatever, after I've died, obviously I'm going to be annoyed by that. And is it sportsmanship? No, of course not. Of course it's not good sportsmanship. But if there are no rules in the tournament against that, you cannot just on the spot as a tournament organizer just throw out the rule book and say, I'm the rule book now, right? I'm the captain.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure.
It looks so bad for you. No one's going to want to come to your tournaments. No one's going to want to, like, because you don't know now. Now every player going to that tournament and to future tournaments, they're going to be wondering, man, I hope I don't do something that they don't like. Even if I'm trying to make a joke with one of my teammates. I hope that it doesn't get me banned. And it's one thing, you know, gamers like you and I, like most people watching this, it is one thing to be like, okay, you know, we get banned from a tournament. We're not professional. We're not making money off this. It's another thing when it's like you got guys who are actually, you know, close to making a living or trying to making a living or are making a living going to these tournaments and being a part of these things where it's like, yeah, I could make a few $1,000s. I could make $10,000. And then that's being affected by one person who doesn't like that.
I'm not taking that at all.
And doesn't go by a rule book, but just goes by their feelings, okay? And that is ultimately where my beef lies. Obviously, I'm on the side of, I don't care about teabagging. Let it be in every video game ever. No one cares. It's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. But if you are going to go to that other direction where you say, hey, I don't want it in our organization, I don't want it in the things that we do here around these games, fair enough. That's great. I wouldn't even be mad at you. I don't care. But you better have it in writing, and every player better understand, hey, these are the rules. When you come into our house, you participate in our tournament, this is what we expect. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, Wimbledon and tennis or whatever. Like, hey, we have a dress code, and we want our tournament and everything to be of a certain standard. So you got to wear you got to wear a certain kind of clothes. Or this is really common if you ever go golfing. Almost all golf courses have dress codes. Some are really high and some are very casual. Some golf courses have dress codes that they just kind of let you wear, pretty almost whatever. And then some just require, hey, you got to wear a button up. Just got to wear a button up. And then others, require you to be like dressed really nice, like nice pants and a nice shirt. No sweats allowed, no shorts allowed, or whatever. Like, I don't think no shorts allowed is a thing. But all I'm saying is you just got to make it clear and concise, and especially when there's money on the line. I think it's just so unfair to the competitors when there's money on the line. So they go back and forth and on Twitter, and it's just interesting because I don't know how anyone can be siding with the tournament organizers about this. But he reiterated, he said, there's no rule saying anything about toxicity in general. So that's your first problem. Like, if you're going to run a tournament, dude, have in the rules, like, toxicity is not allowed. Toxicity could include, screaming at opponents, cussing at opponents, in-game shooting bodies, like excessively in-game, teabagging in-game, blah, 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 blah. Like, make the rules. And then he responds also, making up rules on the spot is not professional, which I 1,000% agree. Disqualifying a whole team permanently from all future tournaments for a made-up rule is a complete joke. And I couldn't agree more. Again, it's just like, it's not a rule that's in writing, so they couldn't even have known that what's in his head and what he wants. There's just no possible way. Not even a warning or anything, just permanent ban for all future tournaments. Teabagging my own teammate is not toxic in any way, and I am not accepting that rule. And I would have to agree. I would not accept that at all. It's just an overreaction, and I feel like now F8 Shake Weight tournament organizer is just digging their they're all just digging their heels in. You don't want to be wrong. No one wants to say they're wrong. No one wants to come out and say I was wrong, I messed up. Nobody wants to come out and just say, you know what, I've thought about it, and after talking with some people, yeah, it was an overreaction. I still feel the same way about everything, but I do think it is a bit harsh to fully ban the whole team for one thing that wasn't even in the rules. So I get that. So this is what we're gonna do. There's a one tournament ban, and then the rest, and we're adding it to our rule set now, and we're gonna go move on from this day forward. No ill will, no hard feelings. And we would love to have this team at our future events. But the thing is, no one wants to concede. No, they just want to dig in their heels. No one wants to cede the fact. And so I think, if I'm Dilly, I'm like, nah, screw that. I'm just never going to go to a tournament by you again. There's just no reason to. Like, I would never, ever, ever want to go to a place and compete for money for my livelihood where it's like they could make up rules on the spot and then DQ you and you could lose. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of scary. You could get first place at this tournament and they could literally just on a whim be like, well, we didn't like how you guys celebrated and it was excessive celebration and unsportsmanlike when you guys won first place. And so we're giving the first place prize money to the second place people. Like, that's what happens when you don't have rules in writing that everyone knows and can clearly follow. It's so bad. It's so unprofessional, and it just makes your tournament a free for all. In all the competitors' minds, anything can happen, anything goes, and it's terrible. So teabagging, dude, if it hurts your feelings, guess what? You need to stop playing video games. Period. If teabagging hurts your feelings and it genuinely, you can't get over it, then you need to play games where it's impossible. Because that's just ridiculous. It's just, because the very next logical step is, okay, well then, I'm offended and I'm hurt when you shoot me when I'm not ready. I'm not looted up yet. You can't shoot me. I'm not ready. Okay, it doesn't make sense. That's a never-ending rabbit trail that just goes on forever and ever. And we're talking about sportsmanship in games where we're freaking shooting each other in the face, you like cutting each other in half, stabbing each other in the back, blowing out each other's freaking brains, okay? So don't talk to me about teabagging as offensive when we're violently destroying our digital characters, okay? Like, it's just so dumb. It's so ridiculous, and people need to get over themselves. Teabagging is here. Teabagging is here to stay, and if you don't like it, that's fine. That's okay. You don't have to like teabagging. I don't like getting teabagged in a game. It's the worst. It makes me so upset. But guess what? It's out of my control, okay? And that's fine. It's okay. At the end of the day, I can turn off the game and my life is completely unaffected, okay? So if you can't just turn off the game, then you got some work to do. All right? That's the teabagging rant. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Should teabagging actually be in games? Do you think it should be ruled out of tournaments? Do you think everyone is just soft nowadays? Let me know your thoughts, and I'm just curious. I'm curious.